Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a mouthful. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Courtney, you can call me Quartz, and these are movies that I'm desperate to watch during spooky season, and it's totally personal to me, but I do believe there are some good recommendations on here. So let's call this the official movies that I plan on watching during spooky season list. I am genuinely planning to try and bang out every single movie on this list at some point during October. So if you have any other suggestions, if there's any movies on this list that I should know about, please let me know because I'm a spooky hoe. Before we get into it, please take a second to like this video, subscribe to my channel. We talk about movies here, we talk about filmmaking, we talk about little girls, women, not little girls, we don't talk about little girls. We talk about what it's like to be a woman in film, and we talk about movies. So, okay. Let's get into it. I think we should start by talking about the things that are the most relevant. So we're gonna go with movies coming out in 2022, and then we're gonna go back in time to movies that I wanna catch up on. Starting off with my list. Now, this is the only TV series in this list, and it's the only reason that I included it is because I'm currently watching it and I cannot wait to see how it ends. So this is Midnight Mass by Mike Flanagan, who also created Hill House on Netflix. The Haunting of Hill House, I believe it's called. If you haven't seen that, it was a pretty spooky psychological ghost story. Same guy who created The Haunting of Hill House, which came out on Netflix, and this one, Midnight Mass, came out last year. I started watching it and I was immediately hooked. The description didn't really draw me in on Netflix. Essentially, it's an isolated island community experience miraculous events and frightening omens after the arrival of a charismatic, mysterious young priest. So it's a very small community on this island. They're all super, super Catholic. For some reason the writers keep saying Christian, but it's clearly a Catholic church and they're doing Catholic rituals. So anyways, that's just me being nitpicky. But if I were to describe this, I would say it is Catholicism crossed with vampires. And I haven't finished the series, but if you watch it, I'm sure you understand why. What I love about Midnight Mass so far is that it feels like you're reading a Stephen King novel, but you're watching it. It feels like a Stephen King novel on TV. A lot of character, it's a lot of story, it's a lot of dialogue, but if you miss anything, you're missing out on serious key pieces of the story that will eventually lead up to the big reveal at the end. And if you want to sit down and pay attention to something, watch this bad boy. Also, if you're Catholic, it's super creepy. Next up, we have the movie X and the movie Pearl. X will be released this year, I think, if it hasn't already come out, following a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas, but when their reclusive elderly hosts catch them in the act, they find themselves fighting for their lives. So X, brought to us by A24 Films. If you thought this was not going to include a single A24 film, you are dead ass wrong. I think A24 is revitalizing the horror genre in ways that is like genuinely terrifying. After seeing Midsummer, I could not stop thinking about it I still can't stop thinking about it. So I'm very excited for X and Pearl, and I'm including them together because they are a continuous story, and I'm surprised that they were able to release them both in 2022. So X we have directed by T. West, starring Mia Goth and Brittany Snow. Hell yeah. And Pearl, also starring Mia Goth, who I'm like very excited to watch on screen because I've seen some of her red carpet looks and she very much embodies character sort of anywhere she's seen, and I'm just kind of obsessing over her at the moment. So Pearl is the origin story of character Pearl from X, if you're following. Basically, we get to see how she ended up the way she ended up. Yeah, I'm also curious about T. West because I feel like they're a woman with like a masculine pen name. Not that it matters, but it kind of matters to me. T. West is a dude. He's a dude. All right, T. We'll see what you got. You guys, we need more women in horror. Another thing that I found interesting is that T. West and Mia Goth wrote Pearl together. So they got to collaborate on her character and write out her whole origin story, which I just think is kind of the dream. So another one on my list is titled Barbarian, and it comes out this year, starring Bill Skarsgård, aka the actor who played It, aka Pennywise. Directed by and written by Zach Kreger. This looks like it could be a hit or a miss for me. Basically, it follows a woman staying in an Airbnb, and the Airbnb turns out to be not what you expect, aka probably murder. But it looks really good, and I love seeing Bill Skarsgård in the horror element because I just think he's so excellent. On top of that, we also have Justin Long making an appearance, he's cast. Justin Long, if you don't know, has roots in horror himself. I remember as a kid watching his horror series Jeepers Creepers. Like, they were 3 movies, at least 3 of them. Jeepers Creepers, Justin Long is a classic, so I'm really excited to see him back in the horror genre. Next up on my 2022 list is Halloween Ends. It ends the end of Halloween, the Halloween series, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. This one's directed by David Gordon Green. We finally get the end to the Halloween saga, the countless movies that they have made since, what, 79, 80, 1980? Listen, the reason why this is on my list is because I did see the last one they made, which I thought was the end, but it was kind of just like 2 hours of 2 badass women kicking Michael Myers' ass. What's not to like? Also Jamie Lee Curtis people. So this is the end of the series, and we basically get to see who lives or dies. This is the end. Is she gonna kill him / evade him one last time, Michael Myers, or is Michael Myers going to kill her in order to be killed himself? We find out this Halloween. Okay, and this one I'm really excited for. It's called Pray for the Devil, and I'm not sure if the title changed a couple times because I had a really hard time finding it. Pray, not praying to Jesus, but as in pray of like animals, for the devil. A nun prepares to perform an exorcism and comes face to face with a demonic force with mysterious ties to her past. The ties to her past are not that mysterious. They reveal it in the trailer that she's facing a demon that killed her mother, which is why she is a demonologist / a nun studying exorcisms. The reason why I'm intrigued about this, it looks like it could be kitschy, it looks like it could be just your classic like Hollywood horror buster, but I am interested in seeing a woman on screen just performing exorcisms because I feel like most of the exorcists, it's all males, and she's like sort of invited into the church. I think she's gonna underestimate all these priests. I think she is. She's gonna kick the devil's ass in this movie. I'm really looking forward to it. This is the part where we go back in time. So now I'm taking us back, you guys. I'm taking us to previous horror / Halloween sort of themed movies that I have been dying to watch. Fair warning, I'm a witchy bitch, so a lot of these, actually the rest of these are witch themed, but if you're into something spooky, Halloween-y, witchy, these are the top ones that are on my list that I have yet to see. Starting with The Love Witch, 2016, this movie came out. Written and directed by Anna Biller. We love that. We love it when a female director writes her own script. It's great. A modern day witch uses spells and magic to get men to fall in love with her with deadly consequences, and that will be a running theme for these witchy movies. The #1 reason I want to see this is the aesthetic of the film. Oh, she produced it herself too, and she composed it. Anna Biller! I think I'm a #1 fan now. She edited it too. Anna Biller, slay. Honestly, I think this movie was self-produced. Someone can correct me. I found out about this movie on TikTok. Roll the clip!
Well, what do men want?
Just a pretty woman to love and to take care of them. But what I'm really interested in is love. You might say I'm addicted to love.
Love me. Love me.
What is it, Wayne? What is it, baby? What a pussy.
Jumping back into the 90s now, okay? Prepare yourself for all the 90s witch movie recommendations. Starting with, yes, The Blair Witch Project. I've seen this movie when I was a teenager, but I probably got scared and turned it off. The reason why I want to come back to this is because I recently saw a tweet that was like, the horror genre is one of the most easy genres, no, sorry, forgive me. It was the most forgiving genre to break into because horror fans will look over bad cinematography if the story and the scares are there. The Blair Witch is the mother of all of those projects. She is the mother of your Paranormal Activities, Cloverfield, all of those self-shot docu-style horror films. So she came out in 1999, directed by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez. 3 film students vanish after traveling to a Maryland forest to film a documentary on the local Blair Witch legend, leaving only their footage behind. Just so good. Spooky dark forest at night. Should I watch it in the spooky dark forest at night? No, that sounds like a terrible idea. That sounds like I'm gonna pee my pants. And I can't wait to watch it again. I didn't lie to you. I told you this was gonna be witchy as heck, okay? Next up on the list, 1998's Practical Magic by Griffin Dunn, okay? I know there's a reason why all of these witchy movies have the same theme, and I'm gonna figure it out. I hope it's not misogyny. Practical Magic starring Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock. I love Sandra Bullock. I would watch anything she was in, even if I wasn't into witchy shit. So of course, Practical Magic follows 2 witchy sisters raised by their eccentric aunts in a small town as they face closed-minded and prejudice, and maybe a curse, which threatens to prevent them from finding everlasting love. Shocking. Witches who can't find love, so they use magic to find love. But these witches are cursed, so we'll see where it goes. Okay, but this one's actually a classic, The Craft, 1996, by Andrew Fleming. Directed by Andrew Fleming? This is actually a cult classic, though. I know people who still dress up for Halloween as these witches. So this movie follows a newcomer to a Catholic prep high school, and she falls into a trio of outcast teenage girls who practice witchcraft. And soon, they all conjure up various spells against those who anger them. This is some classic 90s aesthetic too, which I just love. If you haven't noticed, I'm easily fallen into aesthetic films because it's a visual medium, and I like looking at nice things and cute outfits. You know, some of these you just have to watch for the icons. Last up on my list is The Witches of Eastwick. This movie came out in 1987, okay? But it stars Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Cher, and Susan Sarandon. Once again, we have 3 single women in a picturesque village town who have all of their wishes granted, but at what cost? When a mysterious, flamboyant man, Jack Nicholson, arrives in their lives. Ooh. I just find it so interesting that all of these witchy films are based on the fact that women are trying to find love or seduce a man into his death. So we'll be talking about that for sure in a future video. Witches of Eastwick is based on a novel, so I should probably pick that bad boy up before watching the movie, but... So the novel was written by John Updike, and the screenplay was adapted by Michael Christopher. That's it for my list. That is it for my list, but that is my list of spooky season movies. And granted, the first half of those were all fresh films. There's so many good horror movies that I even want to rewatch, that I want to watch for the first time because I've, for some reason, never seen them. What can I say? I'm a witchy bitch. I'm into classic shit. I'm into A24. Sorry. Not sorry. I loved Midsummer. I loved Hereditary. I'm a huge Ari Aster fan. I think that kind of horror is my vibe. I'm not really into these kitschy like teen horrors that we've been getting throughout the 2010s and the 2000s, you know, House of Wax type shit. It's fine if you want to go make out in a cinema for 2 hours, but if you actually want to watch a movie and be engaged, I'm so loving these rich stories that are coming with horror. So I think I'm most looking forward to X and Pearl. The Barbarian, again, could be a hit or miss, but let me know what you guys think. Which ones would you definitely... Yeah, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say, and I wish you the best spooky season. Leave me your horror film recommendations in the comments below. Yeah, maybe we'll revisit some of these near the end of the month, and I'll let you know what I thought. The light is changing in here, so it's time for me to go. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and if you're into movies, stick around, because I'm into movies too, and we can talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna go now. This is embarrassing. Okay, see you. Have a good one. Bye!